Hello and welcome. My name is Dawn Baxter and I'm the Membership Manager at the Chartered Institute of Payroll Professionals, also known as the CIPP. It's great to have you here with us today. For those that you might not know, the CIPP, we are the UK's leading professional body for payroll pensions and reward professionals. We work to support our members and the wider payroll community by providing industry-leading education, professional development and policy guidance to ensure payroll professionals stay ahead in an ever-changing industry. Today, we're going to be diving into one of the key benefits of CIPP membership, the discounts on IPP Education's training courses and the value they give to your professional development. I'm delighted to be joined by my colleague Fiona Smith, Payroll Training Manager at IPP Education, a subsidiary of the CIPP. Welcome, Fiona. To start off, would you mind telling me a bit about yourself and your role at IPP Education?
Thanks, Dawn. That was a really great introduction. So I'm Fiona Smith. As Dawn said, I'm the training manager at IPP. So what that means is I'm responsible for our training portfolio, which is the courses that payroll professionals, connected professions can come and take with us, aimed at specifically the skills and knowledge that is required in the payroll industry to operate compliant, efficient payrolls. So I'm involved in all aspects of making sure that that runs seamlessly, from designing our courses, so the content that goes in, keeping ahead of industry trends, and also making sure that our trainers who deliver the courses are fully qualified and very knowledgeable individuals, and to make sure that we are providing what you need effectively.
Yeah, that's it. Very interesting. And yes, it is really important that our members and are ahead of the game. So when with regards to your career journey, was there a defining moment where you thought, do you know what? Yes, this is the profession for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So my background, I actually studied music at university, so nothing to do with payroll whatsoever. But when I left university, I ended up going into a sort of financial admin role. As my very first job. And from there, I was working for a housing association at the time, and the person who was processing the payroll within the HR team was unfortunately made redundant, and they were looking for someone else to take on that responsibility. And apparently, I've got a trustworthy face because I got given the payroll with absolutely zero experience of what I was getting myself into. And I think, as anyone who's operating in payroll knows, it's not it's not a dull thing to get into. That, I've always liked numbers and that type of nerdy thing, if I can say that. But the minute I got into payroll, my company happily supported me with doing the CIPP Foundation of Payroll. Sorry, the foundation degree in payroll management. So I managed to do that while trying to get to grips with this completely new payroll. And I just fell in love with it. I think it's the great intersection between kind of the numbers part of accounting, if you like that, cross with like the problem solving aspect that comes with dealing with people that don't fit into nice neat boxes. It is a challenging and rewarding career, and I'm so glad I got that initial opportunity, because look where I've ended up, and yeah, really enjoy it.
So yeah, as you mentioned, that's led you to work in payroll training. So how did you make that change and that step?
Yeah, it was really interesting because, again, it's nothing that I thought I would be doing. I was processing payroll as a sole payroll manager for about 8 years, and then I joined a group company in the East Midlands, and was helping to manage the kind of payroll there. And it was a very intense environment with a lot of challenges. So I felt like I worked there for about 2 years, but it felt like 20. There was that much exposure to various different aspects of payroll. And I wasn't really looking to move, but I got approached by a recruiter who was trying to look for a trainer for the CIPP. And I'd always liked the aspect of kind of nurturing the payroll team and helping them to understand the legislation aspect of payroll. So I've always really enjoyed that kind of training aspect that you have as a manager. So I thought it would be a great opportunity. And I've always been a massive fan of the CIPP ever since it saved my backside while doing the foundation degree. So so I jumped at the opportunity. So I came on board as a trainer, actually delivering our training portfolio. And then through various restructures and things that happened internally, I've ended up taking on responsibility for management of that portfolio. And so that's why I've ended up in this. But it's just such a privilege to work this side of the fence, if that makes sense. Having worked in operational payroll, being able to then help to educate and um, navigate and kind of lead the future of payroll is just such a privilege, and it's really a wonderful place to work. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the story I hear from people that work at the Institute, that it's like a squiggly career. You don't have to actually be doing operational payroll. You can, there are other ways to progress your career. And it's a really good way to give back for future generations of payroll professionals. Um, so during your time, both here and previously in your career, what sort of the biggest challenges that you've seen over the years?
Oh, I think most people that have been in the industry for a while will say that we've seen the biggest change over the last 10 years or so in the payroll industry, from sort of uh, quite a process heavy industry. We've never had the big red button, as much as we'd all like to have one button that we can press and run a compliant payroll. That's never been the case. But since I started in payroll, we've seen the introduction of things like real time information, so reporting to HMRC every single payday, everything about what we're paying, um, automatic enrollment. So the kind of push towards employers being a lot more responsible for compliance activities like that. Um, and making sure that that kind of happens on the front lines. So automatic enrollment was absolutely huge. And then I can't talk about changes in the payroll industry without touching on COVID and how we effectively propped up the economy through the COVID job retention scheme. And that at that point, I actually was working with the CIPP, so I saw just how difficult it was for the industry to kind of keep up with literally, guidance that would change by the day, by the week. And it was, again, a privilege to be on this side of the fence with the CIPP and see all the work that we were trying to do to support the industry through that period of change. And we continue to do so. We know that, for example, mandatory payrolling of benefits is coming up. So again, we're still seeing that huge pace of change coming through payroll all the time. It's definitely not a career for the weak-hearted.
And it's a career that all the members I speak to, you're also very passionate about the profession and the industry, and it's lovely to hear it. So you talking about these big changes that have come and are still coming on a day-to-day basis, really. So how do the IPP education training courses help our members and non-members, move forward with those changes? Could you walk us through the different types of training we offer and how they're structured?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a number of different courses and different kind of ways of learning with the institute. So we have our longer form qualifications. Which are things like the payroll technician certificate, which is a 26-week commitment for individuals to that kind of learning journey. What I deal with is our training courses, which are more targeted kind of learning interventions. So they generally last between half a day and 3 days long, or 6 half days if we deliver online, and are at all different levels of skills that you might need in a payroll environment. So we have our introductory courses, which, for example, our Introduction to Payroll course, which is 6 half days long and covers most of the things that are required for a payroll professional to know. So things like how to calculate tax, how to calculate national insurance, what type of deductions are allowed in a payroll, how to administer statutory payments. So that's kind of those foundational skills. And unlike the qualifications, it's a much shorter time frame that you're learning them over, which can make them more intense, but it is a really great kind of jump start into those skills. And then on top of that, we have the more compliance aimed courses, which target specific areas that you may deal with in your payroll that are quite complicated legislatively. So, actually understanding the law and how it applies to different payrolls. Because, again, if you work in payroll, nothing's black and white. Everything is down to interpretation. So you need to, as a professional, this is where our skills come in. We have to be able to understand and interpret the law as to what that means in how we pay employees. So we have courses on topics like termination payments, recovering overpayments compliantly. We have a national minimum wage course, and so on all different types of topic. I won't list the whole lot. I would definitely go and check out our website if you want to find out more about them. um, and then leading all the way up to, we have some more kind of strategic aimed courses, actually quite hot off the press. We we are going to be launching some courses with our partner, Payroll Org, who is used to be the American Payroll Association. We're going to be introducing courses around data analytics. So, how do you make the most of your payroll data? Global payroll. So, if that is a career path that you are interested in, how could you learn more about operating payroll in more than one country and doing that kind of efficiently? We've got courses that can help with soft skills. So, yeah, there's a whole wealth of learning how you want it. We can also deliver training that is bespoke for individual organisations. So if you are interested in, a little bit of termination payments and actually something about salary sacrifice, we can tailor courses specifically for organisations if you're delivering to 5 or more employees. So yeah, sorry, I've completely rambled on that, Dawn. I hope that was interesting.
Yeah, it is, and it just shows how much there is to a payroll role. So people, our members, are dealing with this every single day in their careers. That having to look at all these different levels. It is. I mean, I'm not a payroll professional, but it's mind-boggling, like you say, the amount of things that they need to know about, and these are really, like you say, focused rather than doing a whole course on specific subjects. So yeah, it's great. And it's interesting to hear that, we are introducing new courses based on the needs of our members. So is there anything else that we don't know about or has been launched that we haven't discussed yet?
Well, I can definitely say that we have a new course that is going to be launching very soon, which is we're going to tackle that subject of mandatory payrolling of benefits. So we know it's coming, we know there's going to be big changes and that many organisations will need that helping hand of training to make sure everyone's doing it consistently. So we'll be launching a paid webinar later this year. So watch out for that because it will be coming. But yeah, coming back to your point about everybody kind of needing that element of upskilling, if that makes sense. Like you said, it's payroll is such a broad industry, like broad topic base that you need to know about. You need to know about so many different aspects, and it's almost impossible for someone to hold all of this information in their head all at once. So what I can say is, any kind of formal learning like the training that we do, like qualifications, bridges that gap between the knowledge you can find out there for free, because a lot of this is available on HMRC's website, gov.uk, other sources. But what the training will do is kind of bring that all together, and enable you to kind of ask an expert and actually check your own understanding of what's going on. It's like our advisory service in that way, that if you're trying to do it all yourself, how do you know if it's, if you're thinking about it the same way as others are? So yeah, I think training is one of those things that you can't really ignore as a payroll professional.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've actually attended some of our courses over the years, and what's lovely, they're of a size where you can interact, and whilst not be too specific for obviously confidentiality, you can put real situations into life and in the courses, and I found that really good. And then on the other hand, we have the in-house, where if you have an in-house course, you can talk specifically about how it relates to your business. So I think in-houses are great if you've got a group of people that you want to train on a specific subject. So it's lovely that we offer that breadth of training. And then there's another thing that you haven't mentioned that we've launched this year, I believe, PQL.
Yes, actually, absolutely. So this is kind of our newest type of learning that we have really at the Institute. And it was kind of um, brought in because we recognise that there's a huge uptick in people wanting to access learning online since COVID.
Yeah.
I think people realise that actually it's not that hard, and you get to stay in your jammers if you need to, and learn something new. So Payroll Quick Learn is essentially bite-sized courses.
Mm.
So they're courses that you can complete in about an hour, and they're targeted at a specific kind of element of learning. Being straightforward, you're not going to get you're not going to be able to run a payroll after doing an hour's worth of learning. So these courses take a kind of snapshot. So looking at what is the tax system, what does it do? And you can learn that in an hour. How do you do an NI calculation, like a straightforward NI calculation? You can do that in an hour. You won't necessarily know everything about NI unless you do lots of these bite size. But the idea is that you can pick up exactly what's of interest to you at that point, and you can learn about it. So say you're running a payroll and you come across a maternity calculation, you can go and do the maternity PQL and learn just about how to handle a maternity calculation then and there. So it's being able to put those skills into practice. It's on demand learning, if you like. And yeah, it's something that we're continuing to add to as a sort of library of courses. At the moment, we have 16 courses on a range of topics, but we're just about to launch 4 more, and we've got 4 more coming at the end of the year. So it will build. There's lots of interesting things in there.
And there are more the different packages. They are at different levels, aren't they? So they're not all basic. There are some more advanced courses in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, for example, if you run a payroll that's in multiple jurisdictions, we have courses on global sorry, put my teeth in, global mobility, which is where employees either come to the UK from abroad or go from the UK to another country to work there. It can get quite complicated about how you treat them
Yeah.
on your UK payroll. So we have courses that cover those sort of more complicated topics. In fact, we take most of the subjects for our early PQLs directly from the questions that we get from members through our
Mm.
advisory service. So we looked at that and what do most people ask about, and that's how we've chosen the topics that we developed first.
Yeah. And the good thing is, if anything is released in that level, you get the updates, don't you? For a year, is it? I believe.
Absolutely, yeah. So
Yeah.
there are different ways to buy PQL.
Yeah.
So you can buy just the course that you want. So in that case, you would get updates to if that course changed over the 12 months, but you wouldn't get any other access. Or you can buy what we call PQL Unlimited, And that is simply a one-off fee for access to the whole library of courses, plus any new courses that we add during your 12 months. So a lot of people are going for that option, and that's the option that's available to organisations as well, with a scaling discount the more employees you have, type of thing.
Exciting times, and it doesn't sound like it's ever going to end, to be honest. There's always going to be a
Well,
new
hopefully.
subject. Yeah, yeah.
Well, this is it. The payroll is always changing, so there is always something new to learn.
Mm.
It's fascinating. You will never run out of subjects to talk about. So yeah.
Okay, so in particular, then, what we're highlighting today is that as a member, if you are a member of the Institute, you get discounts off some of our courses, not the online ones, I believe. You would know the difference.
Yeah, not
On
PQL, but the
no,
ones that are delivered by an instructor. Yes.
yeah. So, can you tell me what the most popular course is, and perhaps why it's the most popular one?
Yeah, by far our most popular course is our payroll update,
Hmm.
which is an annual course. Well, actually, it runs all year, but most people attend the course once a year, and it provides you with an update on everything that is new or changing, with regards to processing payrolls. So it will include new tax year rates and thresholds. It will include changes to legislation. It will include government policy that might affect payroll. It will include things like consultations that are running that may have an impact in the future. There's a huge wealth of information. And the way that I would use it, when I was doing, actually actively had a proper job, you attend once a year, and it gives you that peace of mind that you've not missed anything in
Yeah,
the year, because it's so easy when you are running a payroll, you are on a cycle, you've got your dead, your paydays looming up, that it's being able to like lift your head above the parapet and see actually what is going on out there, what do I need to prepare for that's
yeah,
coming up, or what maybe have I missed and we're maybe at risk of
yeah,
non-compliance for. So yeah, it's a really valuable course, and it's one of our most popular course, particularly between January and March, so just
yeah.
before the beginning of the tax year.
And the good thing for people that are members of the Institute is they get 50% off the course, which is amazing amount of discount.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. It brings the cost down quite dramatically.
yeah,
And again, this is a course that we can run in-house for
yeah.
organisations as well, if you've got lots of people to train.
Okay, so we've talked about payroll quick learn. Some of the points, as we say, it hasn't got membership discounts on it, but there is economy of scale if you buy more.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about it is that you can complete it anywhere at any time. So on your sofa with your feet up in your conservatory. I say this from a personal level.
Brilliant. Nice to know.
Yeah, and the other thing that I really like, that I think the Institute gives, and as you said, this information is out there, but we deliver it from an expert's level, a trusted source. So yourself has done operational, our policy team, our content uh, editor. You've all been in the profession, so you understand what it's like doing the day to day, and I think that really makes it stand out.
Yeah, and it's one of these things that experiences aren't universal. I won't
Mm,
say that I'm speaking for the whole payroll community, but one of the great things that we achieve through our membership and through the
mm,
work that the policy team does is we listen to the industry. We go out and we ask, what is it that you want from us? And really, Payroll Quick Learn kind of came from that.
yeah,
It came from feedback that we were receiving about how busy payroll professionals are nowadays, and how difficult it is to take that time out to commit to kind of formal learning. So it's
yeah,
that ability, like you say, if you've got a burning need to
yeah,
learn about income tax at midnight, you'll be able to do it with
Yeah.
Payroll Quick Learn. So yeah, it's something that we're quite proud of creating, and something that we hope will grow and meet, like we say, the needs of the industry
Yeah.
going forward.
So again, I'm pushing you for hot topics here. Is there anything new that's about to come with Payroll Quick Learn? Is there any inside information you can give us?
Yeah, again, you're getting it all out of me, Dawn. So again, yeah, we're launching 4 new statutory modules actually in a couple of weeks. So
Wow.
August 2025, we'll be launching new Payroll Quick Learn modules around statutory sick pay and statutory maternity pay. Again, fueled by what it is that our members ask about. And there's always questions that come in around statutory payments and benefits in kind. Those are the ones that we always get stuck on, and pensions.
Yeah.
So we've got those statutory modules launching now, and even more
Yeah.
confidentially,
Oh,
not
really?
confidentially because we're broadcasting it live, is coming in autumn. This year, so later on, we will be having courses on pensions for payroll and shares. So, how to deal with shares, share incentive plans through your payroll. So, again,
Wow.
all those different levels, lots of different topics, something for everyone.
Yeah. Wow. It's great, and I love the fact that it evolves. The portfolio evolves forward and meeting the needs of the profession. So it's really exciting. So before we come to the close, although I'm quite happy because I've got lots out of you, for someone watching now, perhaps new to the profession, what would you say is the most rewarding thing about a career in payroll?
The most rewarding thing
Mm,
is maybe like finding such a welcoming community. And I don't mean to sound like a cliche, but there are some other types of profession where you work kind of on your own. And even if you work on your own in payroll, everybody is so welcome because we're all aiming for the same thing. Everybody wants to pay employees accurately, on time, and securely. So, you know, there's a great culture of sharing knowledge, of supporting each other. And yeah, and that's what I've found so rewarding about payroll as a career. It's also definitely a career if you, like I say, if you like numbers and people.
mm.
It's that intersection, and it's a real great career for if you're not quite nerdy enough to be an accountant.
But the payroll profession is huge. I mean, the contributions to the state, to the economy, it is vitally important, and we definitely want that recognised as an institute.
Yeah,
So,
like any back office function,
yeah,
we're not often kind of celebrated when we do things right. We'll only ever hear if we do things wrong. But I think the narrative on that is changing more and more as I see that we're becoming that strategic partner to business and able to kind of feed into the strategic growth of businesses as people
yeah,
recognize what information you can get out of
yeah.
payroll and how it can help business. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Fiona. Your insights have been amazing, and it's really clear that payroll professionals are in really good hands when it comes to development and support throughout their careers. To those of you that are watching, if you're already a member, don't forget to book your payroll update course with that 50% discount. It virtually pays for your membership, so make sure you make the most of it. Check out the new Payroll Quick Learn sessions for quick, high impact CPD. If not for you, if you have a team that needs support, they're amazing. And then if you're not a member yet, and again, I'd have to question why not, this is your sign to join. You can find out more at cipp.org.uk, and remember to use the promo code LL25 to waive the £50 joining fee. Thank you for listening, and I hope to speak to you again soon. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Take
Thanks.
care.
Bye.